I now call upon Father Michael Murray, S.J., to give the opening prayer.
Let us unite our hearts in prayer and entrust to the hands of the Lord those who will be graduating today from Loyola High School. May God, who began this good work in you, carry it through to completion, enabling you to use your talents to the fullest. May God give you the grace to make wise choices and to be faithful to your commitments, always confident in the support of those who love you. May God bless you with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that you will live deep within your heart. May God bless you with anger at injustice, oppression, and exploitation of people, so that you will work for justice, equality, and peace. May God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer from pain, rejection, starvation, and war, so that you will reach out your hand to comfort them and change their pain into joy. May God bless you with the foolishness to think that you can make a difference in the world, so that you will do things which others tell you cannot be done. May your integrity be a gift to the world, and may the Spirit of God be with you always. Remember to turn to the Father for guidance and affirmation, consolation and rectitude. Amen.
I now call upon Luca Cioffi to deliver the salutatory.
Mr. Donovan, Mr. Mahar, Reverend Fathers, members of faculty and staff, distinguished guests, families, and fellow graduates. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to Loyola's 2017 commencement exercises. Today, we, your sons, your brothers, your friends, and your colleagues will be crossing this stage and receiving our Loyola diplomas. Today, we are here to celebrate our achievement after 5 years of dedication and hard work. To truly understand the journey that we all embarked upon 5 years ago, it is important that we take a trip down old memory lane. The year was 2012, a great year. PK Subban was still a Hab. There was a universal infatuation with a certain Gangnam Style dance. And Montreal roads were actually quite as bad as they are now, to be honest. More importantly, however, was the fact that one early morning in late August, slightly shorter and in some cases chubbier versions of us were seated right where you all are seated at this very moment. It was our first day of high school. I think it is safe to say that we were all extremely nervous as we tugged on our top buttons to prevent us from choking. Earlier that morning, our dads had made our ties just right, and our moms had laid our brand new suits out on our beds for us to wear. Little did we know at that time, but all of us were beginning an incredible journey, a journey that has no end, no point final, not even today. One of the amazing things about this school is that the lessons one learns do not only apply in the classroom, but also in everyday life. There are 5 characteristics of a graduate at graduation that may be familiar to 1, 2, maybe 3 of you in the room. Open to growth, committed to doing justice, intellectually competent, loving, and religious. Gentlemen, if these caps and gowns have not already given it away, please know that today we are the embodiments of those characteristics. We are grads at grad. Loyola has given us these gifts and helped us develop into men for and with others. Take these qualities, embrace them, as they will serve you well in the future. Oh, and learning how to play brishkola is also pretty important. I would like to thank all of you. Thank you for being my brothers over the last 5 years and for many more years to come. Looking at this class, I see a group of individuals full of potential, determination, and hope. Know that the bonds that we have formed over the last 5 years are limitless. And know that I love you all more than words can say. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our graduation.
I now call upon Mr. Paul Donovan to deliver the President's report.
Reverend Father Superior, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Mahar, faculty and staff, family, graduates, it is my privilege to present to you the 121st President's Report for the commencement exercises of 2017. While I'm speaking, there will be some images that will present themselves to you on the screen. They are in no particular order. They are there just in case you find them more interesting than listening to me. They're also there as a reminder of some of the many things that we'll be talking about, things that happened over the course of this year. But to begin with, what is the nature of a president's report? Usually in a company, at the end of the year, the company president will get up and explain to all how well they have performed their duties, how well they have performed in the mission of their company, making widgets or frisbees or whatever it is they happen to do. But this is a little bit different because the report is in front of you in these 135 students. The report is written in their hearts, and the report is written in what they will do after they leave here. The things that I will be mentioning today are not what Loyola tries to achieve. They are the means by which Loyola achieves them. The academics, the sports, the social life, all of the things that we do are helping to prepare the students to become what we hope. And what is it that we hope? We hope that they are men who have learned to find God in all things. Because as the reading today pointed out, it is not in how much we love, but in the fact that we are loved that we become Christians. And it is responding to that love with generosity that we hope for all of our students as they leave here. But what have we done in order to help them understand and achieve that? Well, today, Mr. Mahar will present 135 students to receive the Loyola High School diploma. 9 of these students have obtained first honors, with averages over 90% during their 5 years. The honors gold cord that they are wearing is a symbol of their outstanding achievement. And 84 students have obtained second honors, with averages of over 80%. In the world of sports, now, the sports program at Loyola is not about winning championships. Now, if you look at our history and you see how many we've won, that might come as a surprise to you. But what we hope to accomplish is a sense among our students of the teamwork, of the camaraderie, of what good sportsmanship is, so that that develops something that they use in the rest of their lives. And we've discovered that when doing that, the students become the best that they can be. And the result is very often success in our sports program. And so this year, the golf team, the midget soccer, the juvenile soccer, indoor track and field, the wrestling, the pee-wee hockey, juvenile tennis, midget rugby, and juvenile rugby all won championships in the GMAA. And pee-wee hockey and bantam hockey won championships in the QIHL. In the Ed Mahar Sports Tournament, Loyola boys brought home gold in pee-wee hockey and bantam basketball, and another memorable highlight of the tournament would include the wrestling team's fantastic showdown with KSS that resulted in a gold medal win. Experience of service, experience with the poor, is also a characteristic of what we try to expose our students to, so that in each of the people that they meet, they can find that presence of God and find the love that God has given to them, and that intends to give through them. And so this year, trips to the Dominican Republic and Belize, the Christmas food drive, a substantial sum of money was raised this year through bake sales, tie sales, class auctions, movie nights, cookouts, extravaganzas, and most of this money went to bursaries. And the walkathon raised almost $18,000 for local charities. Even in our robotics team, which is run for the second year in a row entirely by alumni, joined forces with Sacred Heart and had a wonderful season. But most importantly this year, again, it's not a matter of how much we win or how well we won, but they were honored with the Gracious Professionalism Award. In first lore, that's one of the highest awards that they give, but for us, it characterizes what we hope our students have learned. It meets the Northern Night team motto, which is robots for others. In their spiritual lives, the campus ministry team has done a wonderful job throughout the year with masses like the one we just celebrated prior to this ceremony, with retreats, particularly the Kairos retreat, with rosaries and different activities and lessons and carols that have happened throughout the year. And that, in a way, to help understand that that connection to the spiritual part of our lives is essential in becoming the people that we hope to be. And a great number of people are involved in all the work that we've done this year. In particular, I'd like to thank our boards, the Jesuit Board, the Board of Owners, chaired by Father Murray, for the Board of Governors, chaired by Mr. Bill Libchuk, and the work that they've done in supporting and helping the school to achieve its goals and purposes. For the Foundation Board, which looks particularly at the fundraising side, chaired by Mark Babinski, the Development Office provided 117 students with over $711,000 worth of bursaries this year. To the Parents Association, which represents all of the parents, chaired by Mr. Andrew Kirkland, and they provided much needed help, first of all, in providing an atmosphere of family, not only for the students, but for all of the parents and all of the people who are involved in the school. And as well for their help in redoing classrooms, redoing the library, and in helping students to pay for trips to the Dominican Republic or to Belize. To the Alumni Association, chaired by Mr. Pierre Susha, keeping our graduates connected to the school and contributing to the bursary fund. And the Mothers Guild, which is a phenomenal group of women who work so hard for the school and work to create that atmosphere of family. And while doing that, raised over $80,000 for bursaries, particularly through the wine and cheese and clothing sales. And to a group of people that I think our graduates would be particularly grateful to, and that would be the Grad Dance Committee, run by Tony Aquino, Christine Cardinal, Kelly Crowdis, and Allison Harris. To all of our wonderful faculty, that their jobs are not just about teaching mathematics or science, but are about forming the men that you see before you today, forming men that we present with a great deal of hope in what they will become. To all of the staff who work behind the scenes in helping us accomplish these things. To the administration, in particular this year, for the tremendous contribution of Mr. Richard Mahar, who will be leaving us and returning to full-time teaching, leaving administration and returning to full-time teaching at the end of this year, for his service. For Mr. Eric Vanny, who after 5 years as Vice Principal of Junior Academics, right when you guys were coming into the school, who will also be returning to full-time teaching. And to Ms. Annie Bellon, who will be replacing Mr. Vanny as the Vice Principal of Junior Academics. And to the staff that have served this school so well for so many years, to Mr. Bob Shaughnessy, who has served the school for over 50 years and is retiring again at the end of this year. And to Mr. Naz Rashido, who is retiring at the end of this year. And to you parents, because what we do is only by your gift. And we thank you that you have entrusted us with your primary duty, which is the education of your children. And for us, it takes a great deal of faith and confidence that you would entrust your sons to us to help you in that task. And we thank you for sharing that crucial role with us. And finally, to you graduates, I thank you for the unique gifts that each of you has contributed to Loyola during your years with us. And so there's sadness in seeing you go, but at the same time, there is hope. Hope in seeing what you have become and confidence in what you will become. And that the experience here at Loyola will help you to have a voice that can make a difference. Because this year's report shows in what you do from the moment you leave here. Not in what we have accomplished this year, not in what you have accomplished over your time here, but in what you will do with the gifts that you have been given. Whatever walk of life, whatever successes, whatever failures or challenges you face in the years to come, know the love that God has for you that's demonstrated in the gifts that you have been given, in the talents that you have and have developed over your time here, and may you use them to find God in all things, to serve the one who is the author of those gifts. Thank you.
I now call upon Matthew Bruce to introduce our graduation speaker.
When asked to write a brief biography to help me introduce him as a graduation speaker, Mr. Shaughnessy wrote, graduated from Loyola High in '61, Loyola College in '65, St. Joseph Teachers College in '66, and then started working at Loyola in September 1966 to the present. He acquired a master's in math and a master's in exercise philosophy over the years, coached football, volleyball, and of course, hockey over his tenure, was department head, athletic director, and alumni director, etc., blah, 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 that's it. Now, some context to explain his words. Every weekend for the past 2 years, I made the short trip to Mr. Shaughnessy's house for an hour of math tutoring. Also, in preparing for exams, we spent many hours at Loyola, working. During these times, he constantly would ask, how's the hockey team? When's your next game? And this year, a few too many times, do you have headaches, in demonstrating concern for the numerous concussions I suffered this year. Very rarely did he reference himself or his family on anything, or anything at all, going on in his life, which represents the blah, blah, blah part of his biography. This is just so like the Mr. Shaughnessy I know, someone who does not like to talk about his accomplishments, but rather focus on others. Thinking that it was the blah, blah, blah that probably needed some more detail from his intro, I did a little digging and discovered some of the many ways in which Mr. Shaughnessy has influenced and touched the people of Loyola. In the classroom, Mr. Shaughnessy had a special way of connecting with his students. In an article reflecting on his 51 years here at Loyola, he stated that enthusiasm ruled the day and made math a joy. I can attest to the fact that enthusiasm for one subject in particular, and for teaching in general, is a gift teachers like Mr. Shaughnessy especially give to their students. When we see that our teachers have a passion for their subject matter, it makes it much easier to get engaged and work tirelessly to succeed. Mr. Shaughnessy's love of math is infectious, and he passed on his appreciation for the subject to every single one of his students. For that, your students thank you. Many of you might know that Mr. Shaughnessy also introduced to Loyola an event that I, along with some of the boys behind me, and some of you parents out there, participated in last year, the juvenile hockey trip to Europe. For those of you who don't know about this trip is about anything but hockey. There is so much more that comes along with the journey. We learned about responsibility, respect for others, and a lot about European history. One of my teammates, Massimo Greco, commented that the greatest thing I will remember is the bond we all had, because we basically lived together for 2 weeks and did everything together, from standing up for each other on the ice to shopping and going out at night. I'm sure that this was the kind of response that Mr. Shaughnessy was looking for when he introduced and organized this trip. He was looking for another way to add to the Loyola experience. Mr. Shaughnessy failed to mention in his biography that he also wanted to strengthen bonds here at the school, so he proposed the oyster, smoked meat, and beer bash. For alumni, it is an event that, when I do attend, will help me reconnect with the class of 2017 and help all grads develop relationships with others who have come through the school in past years. So, On behalf of the class of 2017, I would like to welcome Mr. Shaughnessy to this year's graduation. Thank you for your numerous contributions to our school and tell you how pleased we are that you accepted our invitation to be this year's commencement speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Shaughnessy.
Father Murray, Mr. Donovan, Mr. Mahar, fellow teachers and staff, parents and guests of the graduates, and the reason we're all here, grads of 2017. Thanks, Matt, for that wonderful introduction. You were very kind. Appreciate that. It also doesn't seem possible that 50 years ago, I finished my first year teaching at Loyola. After that year, I had some serious reservations about staying in the profession. Many. But it was one of my peers that convinced me I should spend one more year. I discovered an amazing thing in my second year. I had it all wrong. I thought that discipline was the foundation of good teaching. In my second year, I discovered it was motivation, especially true teaching mathematics. Before you can get students to think outside the box, they have to have a grasp of fundamentals. It always amazed me that it would take a couple of minutes to teach one of the factoring methods called difference of squares, but then it would take forever for it to become second nature. You basically had to do 100 examples. How boring. Back in the early 80s, one of my weaker students told me that he was in talent night. So I went and saw him. I was blown away. I could not believe how well this kid played the guitar. It was absolutely amazing. And I said so the next day in class. What he did, his reaction to that compliment, was to try 100 examples. It struck a chord, so to speak. But once students were well versed in these basics, the magic of math took over. It was wonderful to observe the unique and interesting solutions students had to questions. It never amazed me. Every year, somebody would come up with something a little different. It was special. Each year, we would enter the Waterloo math competition, which was held across Canada. This particular year, I had a strong contingent of young math minds, and Loyola ended up being the top school in the country. One of those students, Mr. Joshua Parr, is a teacher sitting here today. After time had expired in the exam, I asked the boys to write their answers down, and we would discuss it afterwards. So the first section is very easy, the second section challenging, and the third section impossible. But the third section is where most of the marks are. So since there was a time constraint, students had to get to the third section. So after the exam, there was a question in the second section I had problems with, and I nonchalantly said to Joshua, Josh, there were some interesting questions in section 2. What did you think of number 17, the one I couldn't get? Joshua goes, Sir, that was absurdly simple and explained. Very humbling. I didn't have the nerve to tell him I didn't get it. Josh, by the way, had the top mark in Canada. This was a common occurrence over the years. Not that I didn't get it, but the ingenuity and insight displayed by these young men. But you guys kept us young and energized. I always referred to it as the enthusiasm of youth. It was a waste of time to go into your class and talk gloom and doom. You weren't interested in all that was bad in the world. Your eyes were on the future and what your destiny held. That enthusiasm is contagious. It affects us all. It was wonderful. I remember, as Matt mentioned, that trip to Czechoslovakia. Mr. Lefebvre was on that trip. He today carries on that tradition. One of his buddies was Peter Ferguson, a superb athlete. Pete and myself were standing on the sidelines of the largest outdoor stadium in the world. And I look at him and I go, Fergie, me and you, there and back, other side. He goes, Coach, you don't stand a chance. I point to something over there. While he's looking, I take off. He catches me at the other side, but it was a little bit of snow, and I might have pushed off him a bit and got another lead back and beat him. When he got to the sideline, I said, Fergie, age and deception will always outdo youth and enthusiasm. We both knew it was no contest. Today is no different. You all have the same hopes and aspirations that the grads of the last 50 years did. One of my wishes I have for you in the years ahead is that you never lose this enthusiasm, that you always look at life as a grand adventure. Hopefully, you will never become complacent with the status quo, but believe that you can make a difference. The amazing thing is, you can. In the last edition of Loyola Today, which is the alumni newsletter, Mr. Paul Donovan noted that we can quantify certain goals the school has, but other goals, such as being committed to justice, are much harder to measure. In fact, he stated the success of the school can only be measured by our alumni. As Matt stated, my position at the school for the last 14 years was alumni director. It was a tough job organizing beer bashes and golf tournaments. But as a matter of fact, it was the best job because I was able to reconnect with former students that I had coached and I had taught. And lo and behold, they still have the same zest for life and the same concern for others. It's interesting that one of the things the Alumni Association does, it offered a number of CSP activities that alumni could get involved in. And it was amazing how no matter what we did, barbecue at Labra House, NDG food drive, the response was overwhelming. Now, I don't know why this surprises me, because after all, our motto is men and women for others. I guess we sometimes get caught up in marks and place a heavy emphasis in judging success on these results. I see it quite differently after 14 years with alumni. Sure, it's important to have a great job and be a person of influence. But I think it's so much more important just to be a good person, to be someone who cares for others. Too many bad things happen to innocent people when greed rears its ugly head. The happiest people I know are caring and giving and willing to share their lives with their friends and their families. You guys have forged some wonderful friendships in your years at Loyola. Keep in touch as the years go on. Build on those relationships, and your lives will have great meaning. Thinking back on the past 51 years, there is one piece of advice I'll pass on, only one. Find a job you love. I had a magical ride. I was not only blessed with great students, but I worked with a wonderful team. Those of you who were fortunate enough to have Mr. Sanders in your math class know a little bit about his sense of humor. Every now and then he would dig up a math question and put it on my desk, and under it there would always be two words: have fun. One time he found a trig identity from the Dark Ages, but mistakenly substituted cotangent for tangent. After 3 hours of trying to solve it, I crawled over to his desk and said, "Master, I give up." He looked at the question and said, "Who put the cotangent function in there?" He still has the scars. You know, we had a wonderful time. We backed each other. We never counted the minutes. It was all the intangibles that made the job wonderful. So how do you find this magical job? Well, you definitely will go into the profession for which you're being trained. My hope is that when you do that and you have a job, that it appeals to you, and you like it, and you get meaning out of it. But if it doesn't, leave it. Speak to your family and friends. Find something that is fulfilling. But once you're there, develop a strong work ethic. Bring your talents to the table and be a contributing employee. It's much too easy in life to belittle and criticize policies. It takes courage and determination to step up to the plate and strive for the betterment of all. My great friend, Kelly Burke, once said, "In this world, there are givers and there are takers." I suggest to you that you be a giver. After all, this has been part of your training. It will give you fulfillment, friendships, and contentment. In closing, I would like to quote from my favorite artist, Bob Dylan. My wife's cringing in the back. He can't sing. May you always do for others and let others do for you. Climb that ladder to the stars, rung by rung, and may you always be forever young. God bless.
I now call upon Simon Berard to thank Mr. Shaughnessy.
Thank you, Mr. Shaughnessy, for your uplifting and inspirational words. Throughout your speech, you mentioned the enthusiasm of youth quite a bit, and how your view of teaching changed because of the positive attitude that all the Loyola students you taught had within them. You told us to carry that same positive attitude within us as we take up the challenges that lay ahead. And believe me, it won't be easy. Many of us will struggle at some point down the line. I mean, it's a fact of life. Each of us had a childhood that helped form us into the people that we are. our friends, families, our experiences, our education, and our values. They helped to determine what we have become as young men. We all grew up with certain values, which will serve us in the future, and it's these values that have made us belong in such a welcoming environment. For 5 years, I've walked down the halls and heard all kinds of discussions, from students crowing about their overwhelming victory against LCC at the previous day's hockey game, to others having heated political arguments. Now, if there's anything that I noticed while being a Loyola student, it's the excitement and dedication that students have for this school. Mr. Shaughnessy, you're right. This building is more than just a place where we came to learn every day. It's a place that, for us, has and will continue to have countless long-lasting memories. The friendships we've made throughout our 5 years are bonds that I'm sure we'll all cherish long after today's graduation. Mr. Shaughnessy, you also mentioned the importance of not letting world events weigh us down. We should keep our heads held high and continue to push forward. We've all heard these words many times before. However, most of us have yet to put these words of wisdom into practice. The moment one lets negativity into one's life, one risks losing everything. You also noted that the media do a splendid job of showing us the bad in people and constantly point out everything pessimistic that's associated with being in the supposed human rat race. And rarely do the media broadcast the good that individuals do. But you see, that's why the world needs more Loyola. We often don't appreciate the gifts given to us by God, gifts which help us to navigate through life. It's these gifts that can bring light into the deep darkness in which some people live. These gifts can also help fulfill our responsibility by allowing us to be men for and with others. Now, as the newest alumni in the Loyola family, we will continue to carry the torch passed on to us by the thousands of caring and dedicated individuals who live by the motto that was instilled in us from the day that we entered this place, a place that would become our second home. So once again, Mr. Shaughnessy, thank you for having shared with us the powerful message that will motivate us as we begin our trek through life. Thank you.
Mr. Shaughnessy, please come up. Distribution of awards. The following students have earned distinction in the academic year 2016-2017. The Christian Service Medal. The Christian Service Medal is given in memory of Father Martin Royackers, S.J., a former teacher at Loyola, who was killed in Jamaica for his work with the poor. It is awarded to Secondary 5 students in recognition of exceptional contribution to the Christian Service program in their graduating year. The following students have earned a Christian Service Medal. I would ask all recipients to remain at the front of the stage for a group photo, and please refrain from applauding until all students have been called. Presented by Mr. Sean Donovan. Matthew Apostolatos. Matthew Brawley. Matthew Bruce. Brian Catudal. Nicholas Chevrier. Tyler Clow. Anthony Del Vecchio. Anthony DePaula. Robert Douglas. Stefano Forlini. Caleb Hakala. Carson Laundreville. Michael Murphy. Patrick Alexi. Paul Alexi. Michael O'Rourke Thomason. Anthony Tortolano. Julian Zompa. Ladies and gentlemen, your Christian Service Medal recipients. The Thérèse F. Casgrain Foundation Award. The secondary 5 students were invited to participate in a literary competition sponsored by the Thérèse F. Casgrain Foundation. The goals of this contest are to promote Thérèse Casgrain's legacy and support young adults in the pursuit of their academic and career goals. Participants were required to complete 24 hours of community service and submit an essay about building on and expanding Madame Casgrain's work in promoting human rights, social justice, and world peace. Presented by Ms. Wendy Palvereri. Awarded to Alexandre Canel and Philip Wheeler. The Sylvia Chenard Sullivan Award, presented by the Sullivan family for outstanding achievement throughout his high school career by a student from a French-speaking background. Presented by Madame Marthe Lacasse and awarded to Alexandre Canel. Exemplary Effort Awards. Awarded to the student in each class who, according to a vote of his teachers, showed the most academic progress and exemplary effort. Presented by Mr. Mark Diashishin and awarded to 5A Luca Chaffee. Five B, Matteo Gisondi. Five C, Nicholas Chevrier. Five D, Jack La Liberté. Five E, Alessandro Gentile. 5F, Michael Piccioni. We will now distribute the awards and medals for outstanding achievement and service over the 5 years of high school. The Arts Award for outstanding achievement in art, music, or theater arts throughout his high school career. Presented by Mr. John Pasquini and awarded to Liam Burchell-Reyes. The English Award for outstanding achievement in English throughout his high school career. Presented by Mr. Mark Diashishin and awarded to Gabriel Massey. The French Award for outstanding achievement in French throughout his high school career. Presented by Madame Marthe Lacasse and awarded to Patrick Grace. The Humanities Award for outstanding achievement in classics, Cold War, media history, philosophy, psychology, Spanish, or world geography. Presented by Mr. Sean Ryan and awarded to Michael Murphy. The Mathematics Award for outstanding achievement in mathematics throughout his high school career. Presented by Mr. Carmine Tadeo and awarded to Liam Burchell-Reyes. The Physical Education Award for outstanding achievement in physical education throughout his high school career. Presented by Mr. John Garrity and awarded to Gabriel Giangi. The Religion Award for outstanding achievement in religion throughout his high school career. Presented by Ms. Lisa Diaz and awarded to Gabriel Massey. The McGill Science Award for exceptional promise in science and math. Presented by Mr. Chris Hannon and awarded to Anthony Del Vecchio. The Science Award for outstanding achievement in science, chemistry, and physics throughout his high school career. Presented by Mr. Andrew Plimer and awarded to Patrick Grace. The Technology Award for outstanding achievement in robotics, computer graphics, and computer programming throughout his high school career. Presented by Mr. Chris Hannon and awarded to Gabriel Massey. The Social Studies Award for outstanding achievement in geography, history, contemporary world, and entrepreneurship. Presented by Mr. Andres Canea and awarded to Willem Dugas. The Breslin Award, in memory of Father Francis M. Breslin, S.J., for the second highest aggregate class standing. Presented by Mr. Richard Mahar and awarded to Patrick Grace. The Governor General's Academic Medal. The Governor General's Medal, established in 1873, recognizes the student with the highest aggregate class standing and presented on behalf of His Excellency, the Right Honourable David Johnston, Governor General of Canada. Presented by Mr. William Libchuk, Class of '89, and Chair of the Loyola Board of Governors, and awarded to Willem Dugas. The Ed Mahar Memorial Scholarship, presented by the Loyola Ed Mahar Sports Tournament Committee to the student who, through his participation in athletics, has demonstrated the values espoused by Ed Mahar: integrity, commitment, responsibility, fairness, and good sportsmanship. Presented by Mr. Naz Rashido and awarded to Matthew Bruce. The Andy McGillis Memorial Scholarship, presented by the Alumni Association of St. Leo's Academy in memory of Andy McGillis, who served as athletics coach in hockey, football, boxing, and basketball for 30 years. The award recognizes a student's contribution to Loyola in the area of athletics. Presented by Mr. Phil Lefebvre and awarded to Owen Lawton. The Paul A. McKinnon Fellowship Award, presented by the McKinnon family to the student who has given generous service to the school behind the scenes without public recognition. Presented by Mr. Michael Gurkowski and this year awarded to Alessandro and Andrea Aquino. The Father Eric McLean S.J. Award, presented by the Parents Association to the student who strives to develop his own diverse and unique talents to serve others for the greater glory of God through his service in his parish and community. Presented by Mr. Andrew Kirkland, class of '88 and president of the Parents Association. And this year awarded to Adelino Cavalluzzi. The Hodgins Award, in memory of Father John F. Hodgins, S.J., for the second highest achievement throughout his high school career. Presented by Mr. Mark Diashitian and awarded to Patrick Grace. The President's Medal, for the highest achievement throughout his high school career, presented by Mr. Paul Donovan and awarded to Willem Dugas. The Man for Others Award, presented by the Jesuit Secondary Network to the student who embodies this ideal. A well-rounded person who is intellectually competent, open to growth, religious, loving, and committed to doing justice and generous service to the people of God. This award is given in memory of Dr. Nish Mukherjee. Presented by Father Michael Murray, S.J., and awarded to David Lewis. The Loyola Medal, presented by the Alumni Association to the most representative student in all areas of school life. The final selection is made by a vote of the faculty and the secondary 5 students. Presented by Mr. Pierre Shusha, president of the Alumni Association, and awarded to Michael Murphy. I now call upon Mr. Richard Mahar, principal of Loyola High School, for the conferring of the diplomas.
Thank you, Mr. Lefebvre. For the 121st time in Loyola's history, the conferring of diplomas will now take place. Mr. Donovan, it's my honor to announce the following candidates who have fulfilled all of the requirements of the Loyola diploma. As Mr. Donovan mentioned earlier, and I think it's worth repeating, first honors are awarded to students who have achieved an overall average of 90% or higher over their years at Loyola. And it's also been a long-standing tradition here to honor them with the Gold Honor Cord. And second honors will be awarded to the students who have achieved an overall average between 80 and 89%. Students who achieve the highest mark in each of the secondary 5 subjects this year will be recognized at this time, and I would ask Mr. Diashishin, the Vice Principal of Academics, to award those prizes. Here's my big ask. I would ask that everyone please refrain from applauding or calling out until all of the graduates have received their diploma. The 135 students on the stage right now have achieved today's honor as a group, and we really want to honor them as a group at the end of this conferring of the diplomas. Thank you. President Donovan, I present to you the following candidates for the Loyola Diploma. They have met all the requirements. Michael Adamo. Fabiano Alfieri. Jeffrey Alfonso, second honors. David Mbayak, second honors. Johnny Anastasopoulos, prize for CST Math. Matthew Apostolados, second honors. Vincent April, second honors. Alessandro Aquino, second honors. Andrea Aquino, second honors. Kobe Archer, second honors. Charles Argento. Luke Ayub, second honors. Joseph Barbiero, second honors. Andrew Barecki, second honors. Simon Berard, second honors. Anthony Bianco, second honors. Matthew Bouchard, second honors. Matthew Brawley, second honors. Paul Brissett, second honors. Matthew Bruce, second honors. Liam Burchell Reyes, first honors. Brian Burgos. Antoine Cardin, second honors. Ethan Carlisle. Brian Catudal, second honors. Adelino Cavaluzzi. Stefano Cella. Nicholas Chevrier, second honors, prize for TS Math. Luca Kiracosta, second honors. Massimo Kiracosta, second honors. Patrick Christie, second honors. Alexander Cinquino, second honors. Luca Chaffee, second honors. Tyler Clow, second honors. James Coniata. Christopher Correa, second honors. Alessio Cusmano, second honors. Matthew Deloya. Noah De La Durante, second honors. Mark DeRose, second honors. Anthony Del Pescio, second honors. Anthony Del Vecchio, first honors. Sean Della Posta, second honors. Gianluca Di Fiore. Daniel Di Girolamo, second honors. Alex Dinalfo. Anthony DePaula. Neo Dionysopoulos, second honors. Robert Douglas, second honors, prize for exercise science. Willem Duga, first honors, prize for Français, programme en régie. Patrick Dunlop, second honors. Peter Emblem. Gabriel Dominic Epifani, second honors. Adam Fania, second honors. William Farrow, second honors. David Ferraro, second honors, prize for culinary arts. Declan Fishlin. Stefano Folietta, second honors, prize for français langue d'enseignement. Stefano Forlini, second honors. Tristan Frankham, second honors, prize for français, programme de base. Noah Gowie, second honors. Alessandro Gentile, second honors. Dimitri Georgakis, second honors. Gabriel Janji, second honors. Mario Giobi Maioni. Matteo Gisandi, second honors, prize for English. Massimo Greco, second honors. Patrick Grace, first honors, prizes for NS Math and Physics. Anthony Griffin, second honors. Caleb Hakala, second honors. Parker Harris Baitadas. Michael Hills, second honors. Noah Kagan Fleming. Keen Kelly Menard. David Corentang, second honors. Jack La Liberté, second honors. Carson Landreville, second honors, prize for media production. Owen Lawton. Alexander Lee, second honors. Matthias Lee Poi Paxman, first honors, prizes for entrepreneurship, law, philosophy, and psychology. Philip Lirio, second honors. Giuliano Lapore. David Lewis, second honors. Dante Lorenzoni, second honors. Gabriel Massey, second honors, prize for media history. Marshall Mather, second honors. William Matthews, second honors, prizes for chemistry and physical education. Calvin Mazloum. Liam McGregor. Gerard McTavish, second honors. John Marias, second honors. Luca Michetti, second honors. Christopher Mikas. Matthew Monty. Andrea Moscato. Michael Murphy, second honors, prize for world geography. Benjamin Naiman. Justin Nemi, prize for computer graphics. Patrick Oleksy, first honors, prize for religion. Paul Oleksy, first honors. Michael O'Rourke Thomason, first honors. Stephen Parisi, second honors. Michael Pavan. Luca Pellin. Thomas Pereira, second honors. Mark Anthony Pereira Figueredo, second honors. Ryan Perkins, prize for industrial arts. Michael Piccioni. Andrew Pink, second honors. Adamo Poliseno, second honors. Kevin Poulet. Michael Pristovnik. Alexandre Canel, second honors. Joseph Raftis, second honors. Hayden Ross, second honors. Tristan Rubo, second honors. Lucas Ruvo, second honors, prize for art. Luca Sharafa. Nicholas Simo, second honors. Gianpaolo Smiralia. Francois Saint-Amour, second honors. James Stewart, second honors. Gianluca Torchia. Anthony Tortolano, first honors, prize for contemporary world. Cameron Trudell. Andrea Tutino, second honors. Zachary Valle, second honors. James Van Elst, second honors. Luca Van de Peppel. Michael Vazel. Philip Wheeler, second honors. Jeremy White, second honors. Evan Yee. Stephen Yersh. Julian Zampa, second honors. Now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, your class of 2017.
I now call upon this year's valedictorian, Michael Murphy.
Mr. Donovan, Mr. Mahar, Reverend Fathers, members of the administration, faculty, and staff, distinguished guests, families and friends of the graduates and fellow graduates. 5 years ago, we all embarked on a journey called high school. Many of us were nervous about attending Loyola. Not only was the school an unfamiliar place, but for many of us, particularly those traveling from distant lands like the West Island or Laval, it was very far from home. During those awkward train rides in the first week of grade 7, it was clear that many of us lacked close friends who could share in the anxieties of knotting our ties, parting ways with our rolling school bags, and paying Mr. Corsetti the exorbitant $1 fee for forgotten gym clothes. However, it didn't take long for us to learn that this place was not a cold and impersonal institution, but rather an embracing and welcoming community, or as I see it now, a family, which excelled in educating the whole person. Over the past 5 years, embraced by this family, we have struggled, we have failed, we have grown, we have succeeded, and we have thrived. The enthusiasm, dedication, humor, and commitment we shared each other without ever counting the cost are a testament to the incredible bonds of friendship that we have formed here at Loyola. It is this sense of togetherness that allows us to sit proudly before you today. So I say with certainty that we got here together, we crossed the stage together, and we will move forward in life together. In Sec 1, I was eager to follow in my brother Joe's footsteps of athletic excellence, so I signed up for the rugby team. The first indication of many that I would not be following in my brother's footsteps of athletic excellence was the awkward conversation I had with Coach Santillo. He suggested, quite delicately I might add, that I was about 15 pounds over the GMA weight limit, so I was too heavy to play. Now, people who know me, or who have ever seen me, know that I love my hearty meals and desserts. I quickly realized that it was a lot easier to get rid of Sunday night leftovers than it was to get rid of 15 pounds. In spite of the unrelenting call of Kit Kats and Doritos, my strict diet and exercise regimen dropped the needle on the scale to 149.5 pounds, 0.5 pounds under the limit. And so I was deemed fit to play. What followed for me was an incredibly lackluster season. I think 0 tackles and 0 tries was my record, but who's counting? As it so often happens with Loyola teams, this team managed to cap off its season with a championship game. I weighed in one last time with maybe a junior chicken to spare, warmed up with the team, and took my spot on the bench as I mentally prepared for my 5 or 10 minutes of fame. I bided my time waiting, and then waiting some more until my time never came. My services had not been called upon during that final game. I had been benched. Shortly after, it dawned on me that GMA sports were quite demanding and that I, in all honesty, preferred pastries to the rugby pitch. So, like many others on this journey, I chose a different extracurricular path, one that was, for me, far more fulfilling and safer than being tackled by a burly student from CVR. Loyola offered all of us an environment in which we could explore and share our interests, talents, and gifts in a meaningful way. No matter what we chose to pursue, we were always accepted by our peers and contributed to the Loyola family. So, there were the athletes who longed for any opportunity to get on a field and showcase their skills. There were also the guys who chose the less demanding yet competitive realm of intramural sports, all the while finding the time to excel in their academics. Then there were the incredible actors, guys who were capable of impersonating anybody and able to memorize staggering numbers of lines. What about the musicians? Guys who read sheet music the way most of us read novels, and who are such perfectionists that they beat themselves up for playing an off note. And then there were the robotics geniuses whose ingenuity could create robots that shot hoops and raced at high speeds. In addition, we had in our midst artists who found inspiration everywhere and whose talents made landscapes seem real and portraits come to life. The list of contributions from our peers could easily go on for much longer. Thank you to each and every member of the class of 2017 for sharing your many passions and gifts with us over the past 5 years. Your talents, your energy, and your ambitions are what truly pushed us all to be better. It is important to acknowledge those men and women who inspired us and supported us in all that we did in and out of the classroom. On behalf of the class of 2017, I would like to thank our extraordinary teachers. Loyola would not be the school that it is without your devotion, your rigor, your passion, and your humor. Not only did you moderate our clubs and coach our sports teams, but you also engaged us with your energetic teaching styles. You pushed us to our limits because you enjoyed guiding us and shaping us as we kicked and screamed our way to a semblance of maturity. We will also be eternally grateful for the lessons you taught us that went far beyond the classroom. For example, you taught us that there is nothing small about a small homework assignment, one that usually ended up turning into hours of research and write-ups. Mr. Fulvio taught us about equilibrium points, mortgages, and debt, but also taught us that selling a $4 fidget spinner on school grounds is considered tax evasion. Mr. Ketterling taught Beowulf with great passion, but also instilled in us the valuable notions that one should never pay full price, be mindful of the matrix, and avoid sugar, or crack as he called it, so as to not experience an untimely demise. Mr. Vanny taught us that there was no such thing as a word limit when he delivered impromptu speeches or talks. Mr. Tadeo taught with humor and toughness, but also proved that a Thursday night Broncos win meant no 5-quiz Friday. And then there was Mr. Mahar, who, for the past 3 years, has steadily led our school with heart and determination, and who thankfully added a morning break to our schedules. This allowed us the perfect time to enjoy our pre-lunch lunches. But sir, really, we all knew that period 4 was just another term for tag 2. To the entire faculty and staff, a heartfelt thank you for all you have done for us by teaching us, engaging us, disciplining us, inspiring us, supporting us, pushing us, making us laugh, making us sweat, and obviously just putting up with us and our antics. Thank you. One of the rumors about Loyola is that it is challenging and students must work hard in order to succeed. Please allow the class of 2017 to go on record and validate these rumors. As students, we have all endured many hectic, heart-stopping, and sleep-deprived times. Sec 1 was notable for library quizzes, where we became familiar with the Dewey Decimal System and the Encyclopedia Britannica's rare diseases. Sec 2 included Parish Project, where pulling off a last-minute bingo game at some undisclosed parish in Montreal gave you a 92. Sec 3 was the perfect storm of history, science, and ethical issues papers, where maquettes met basement experiments on rotten fruit and the ever-present fruit flies, and the achieving of 2,500 word count minimums. The fun and lack of sleep continued in Sec 4, where we diligently prepared all year for the dreaded ministerial exams, and we all managed to get 100% on the history essay question, thanks to an anonymous student somewhere in the province. Thank you to that student. Finally, we confidently marched into our Sec 5 classrooms, but realized that lack of sleep would simply be the reality we'd have to deal with in the incredible year that awaited us. However, despite the adversity and the complaining, we really wouldn't have wanted it any other way. This day would not have been possible without you, our parents. You are the ones who helped us through some of our lowest moments and pushed us to strive so that we could thrive. Your unconditional love and support has allowed us to become the young men we are today, and played an enormous part in our formation. Thank you for baking dozens of cupcakes the night before a bake sale because we forgot to tell you we were having one. Thank you for being our unpaid Uber drivers at our beck and call at all hours of the day. Thank you for being our #1 fans at athletic outings, for giving us a $20 bill to buy a $16 book and not asking for the change. Thank you for putting up with us as we occasionally exaggerated the soreness of our throats, or as Mr. Dietitian would say, hyperbolized, to stay home from school on a Friday every now and again. Our gratitude and love for all you have done and will continue to do is immeasurable. Thank you all. In Sec 1, Mr. Lefebvre addressed our class and our parents as we sat in this very auditorium. The whole VP of Discipline speech made for a rather intimidating start to the year. I remember that he asked our parents to cut the umbilical cords, but he also said that going to Loyola was a privilege, and that this privilege could easily be revoked. 5 years later, we can all say with certainty that his words that have been reiterated many times throughout our journey here, hold true. It is an honor and a privilege to be a part of a community like Loyola. Yes, the beautiful buildings, the pristine fields, and the comfortable couches in the campus ministry office are all privileges that we enjoy and hold dear. But what truly makes Loyola stand out from other educational institutions are the more profound privileges we've had, such as Walkathon, Grad Ski Trip, Kairos, Experience Week, Carnival, SSX, Jazz Band, Concert Band, dedicated teachers and staff, to name but a few. Loyola has provided us with the tools that we will be able to use in our careers, whether it be lawyers, doctors, businessmen, tradesmen, engineers, or men in uniform. Any and all of our goals are attainable given the critical thinking skills we have developed and the support network we have forged. After all, growing up in the 21st century is no easy task. We are constantly surrounded by the pressures of social media, and we live in an increasingly negative world. A world in which the press prefers to focus on atrocities, climate change, divisive international relations, and natural disasters, rather than on the good, which can still be found in this world. Good has not vanished from the world, but we need stronger leadership to bring it out. It should be our goal as the class of 2017 to share the Loyola values of hard work, empathy, compassion, commitment, conscience, intellect, and social justice with the world, and in so doing, help those in need and bring out the good in society. As a result of our Loyola education, we are in a more privileged position than many, and I know that our values will inspire us to help make this world a better place. We are happy on this day to leave the school knowing that we will be the men for and with others that we have been trained to be. We are all here as the class of 2017 together. In the future, we must continue to be together, as a team, as a band of brothers, and as a class, to support, help, and watch out for each other. We cannot allow our Loyola education to become just a piece of paper hanging on our walls, but rather it must become the fuel that propels us into the future. As we leave Loyola, we must not let Loyola leave us. We must continue to live the forth and uphold the values we have been taught. The stage has been set for us, and it will soon be our time to shine in what appears to be an increasingly challenging world. Success is near and inevitable for us all. Our diplomas are the result of hard work, of hope, of relationships, and of memories that will last a lifetime. I am honored, privileged, and blessed to be able to call these incredible people to my right my family. We got here together. We crossed the stage together, and we will move forward in life together. We will always be part of this great community. We are the future, and ladies and gentlemen, we are the class of 2017. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. I think we're going to be hearing about him again in the future. Immediately after the ceremony, the graduates will be led outside in the east yard adjacent to the Pee Wee football field for a photograph of the throwing of the caps. If you wish to have a group photo taken with the grad speaker, Mr. Shaughnessy, proceed to the steps outside the auditorium entrance on West Broadway. Finally, graduates who have brothers, fathers, or grandfathers that are alumni of Loyola are asked to meet Mr. Tom Reynolds in the atrium for a family photo. The order of the recessional will be as follows: the graduates, the guests of honor, and the faculty. Please remain in your seats until they have all exited. And you are all invited to a reception in the gymnasium. Thank you and good evening.